Hello and welcome everybody to the Join Dota League season number 3, a 2-game series in this European Division 2, Team Traels versus Bened+5. We were supposed to have Bened+5 up against Balkan Bears, but just as the game were supposed to or scheduled to start, suddenly admins notified us that nope, Balkan Bears they can't play, so that game got postponed. Thank God that Team Traels were able to play 2 hours earlier. So here we are in the draft. I am Coucher and I am joined by Mike Lores.
Yeah, how often do you have a team that's able to show up early, not just early, 2 hours early? That's pretty insane. I'm kind of bummed because I would have liked to see BBC play. I love their aggressive style, but yeah, hopefully this game would be just as entertaining, if not more so.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for me at least, I haven't been able to cast any of those teams or either of those teams. So I'm not too sure how it's with you, but I'm just completely coming blind into this.
Oh yeah, this one I see a couple of names I recognize, like Sasu I recognize, Unidin I recognize, but aside from that, I haven't casted any of these teams in their entirety.
Yeah, so I mean, like you already mentioned as well slightly, that hopefully they will bring just as much action as Balkan Bears usually would. Although looking at the draft, the bans, they are just nothing out of the ordinary in the slightest. Doombringer and Brewmaster by Team Trials, whereas Bennett banning out the Lycan and the Razor. So Skyref Mage to begin with. Will we see Faceless Void by Bennett, or are they gonna leave it just kindly to Trials?
I don't know. I feel like Phases Void is one of the more powerful heroes that is most often seen as the first ban, and you especially don't want him to go with the Skywrath Mage, but looks like Bened+5, they don't quite agree with me because they're going to go for Wraith King Viper as their opener. All Team Trials are going to have access to the Void, but no, he's going to be completely skipped over in this first phase. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, weird is the right word for it. I mean, to be honest, I do like that Bened and 5, they were probably accepting the fact that Faceless Void is most likely gonna come. And both the Wraith King and the Viper are pretty decent up against the Skyref Mage Faceless combination. Viper, thanks to his increased magic resistance from the corrosive skin, and Wraith King just having a reincarnation. So both of those heroes could have potentially survived being chronoed, at least up until the late game, because then the Faceless Void himself starts to hurt quite a lot as well. But, I mean, Earthshaker Skyref Mage is definitely a solid combo, and maybe Team Trials, they're like, we don't want the Faceless Void anyway, but we will make it so that Bennett kind of have to ban it out in the second phase here.
Yeah, they don't actually have to Bened+5 since they get the first pick off of this, so if they kind of coast on through, they could pick them. They could pick up the Faceless Void themselves. They will probably have a Faceless Void laning with the Wraith King though in some capacity, and having that double melee can be a little bit awkward, but I think it would work well for pretty much either side. So it might be just a Faceless Void game of chicken where neither side actually wants to press that ban button, but they both kind of want it and don't want the other team to have it.
It might be. And actually, Team Trials, I mean, Shadow Shaman ban, I completely get that one, but Enigma, it's definitely a strong hero. I really like that hero. Maybe a little bit too easy to shut down, especially if he's on the Radiant side, but there are only a handful of teams that just run the Enigma almost non-stop. I mean, since we don't have any background information, maybe Team Trials too, and Bennett, they ban out the Tinker themselves, so, I mean, must be some background information, or Tinker, of course, can be just an overall solid ban.
Usually you ban out the Tinker when you're preparing your team to go for a little bit of pushing. With the Tidehunter pickup, it doesn't seem like Bened+5 actually want to do that. Like, they have a whole bunch of tanky heroes right now, but they're not really tanky in the sense that they're going to go and tank towers and be super aggressive early on. They're just going to kind of coast on by and get their items up and then, try to go for a little bit more of a mid-game team fight. Trials, they're going to go for a Nature's Prophet. So, yeah, both teams seemingly forgetting about the Faceless Void. And then I don't know if Bened+5 want to pick up Void anymore. That'll have 3 melee heroes, and Faceless Void doesn't play well with melee heroes.
Yeah, I think they probably, I mean, to be honest, all of the draft, Tidehunter is just excellent as well against Faceless Void. So they're like, even if Team Trials pick it up, we just have all the tools to deal with it, kind of. And I don't really see either just them picking up the Faceless Void at the moment. It would screw with their lanes, and like you mentioned, just having too many melee, especially against an Earthshaker, it just doesn't bode well for you. So, Bened+5, I guess the Wraith King, it can be a core one as well, but if not, they still have one slot open for that, a safe lane one, as well as his support. What the hell could they even go for here? Some counter push definitely would be nice up against Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, having Tidehunter for Anchor Smash and just being generally tanky, fearless on the front lines is quite nice, but getting some sort of AoE would certainly be useful for them because as it stands right now, they only have Anchor Smash, and it's great, but it's just not good enough. So they would need to show up their supports with that. Not really too sure who it would be. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they want to have a good roaming combo with the Wraith King. Maybe they want to go for something like a Rubik for a Fade Bolt.
It definitely wouldn't be bad. I mean, just Rubik overall is a pretty solid hero, both defensively and aggressively once you just get a couple of levels into Fate Bolt. Stealing the Fisher, but I was slightly thinking about the Chikiro, mostly because Balkan should have played and they just pulled out that hero, but it's decent for their own push. If he gets the Macro Pyre, it's actually excellent counter push as well, just lay it down and kill all the creeps with it so easy. Although, well, I guess Ray Fire Blast into Ice Path is pretty just easy combination as well.
It's an easy combination, but it's not exactly the best. Like, it's no Skywrath Mage combination, just it won't do that much damage because Ice Path, inherently a low damage skill, but with Liquid Fire, they will be able to push and kind of counter push against the unit-based pushing from Team Traels. They will be able to slow the Nature's Prophet's Treant's attack speed by enough to make it so that they have a lot more time to either reposition or get the Tidehunter into that fight, what have you. But Team Traels, they're going to go for Luna, so it looks like they're going to go for a pretty aggressive pushing strategy with Nature's Prophet, Ring of Aquila, I'm sure, on Luna, and then looking to take some early Tier 2 towers.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the last pick now, they might even attempt Roshan level 1. It's always a risky thing, but I haven't seen it for some time, so actually it might be kind of a surprise factor if they make it so that it isn't like 100% obvious. Although they are lacking, I guess, a mid laner, and what mid laner would just help out? Beastmaster would kind of make it obvious, just going for the aura, but we shall see. But one thing I want to mention about the Chikiro that is going to be nice, or potentially, up against Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet usually tries to just sprout himself up and TP out when there's no vision, but Shakiro's Ice Path can still prevent that as well, or at least delay it out. So it might be a thing that just makes a small difference at some point.
Yeah, that and Fisher are two of the more commonly picked up supports heroes slash their spells to counter that Sprout TP strategy. And, well, Earthshaker's already on Team Trails, so obviously Band can't pick that one up for themselves. This Jakiro is going to be working overtime, seeing as though the Luna is picked up for Team Trails. Of course, they do have the option of just playing it super slow and getting Luna, Hand of Midas, Helm of the Dominator, all those types of items. Because come late game, I think they should have an advantage with the four heroes that are currently on each side with that Luna. But I would have expected them to look for aggression with this Luna, Earthshaker, Skywrath Mage tri-lane. And when that aggression does come down, Nature's Prophet will teleport in, and then they'll try to take some towers after that. Bened+5, they have a little bit more AoE with the Jakiro, but they might not have enough because they're going to have to fight really early.
Yeah, they definitely will, and just depending on the last pick now, if it's going to be a core, meaning that the Wraith King will be in the supporting role, I guess something like a Gyrocopter would be possible, just give them a lot of team fight. I mean, Ravage into cooldown and just a Flak Cannon roaming around. And just Rocket Barrage if you get close, which should be easy enough with Ray Fire Blast, Ice Path and the slows, but they go for a Morphling instead. And yes, the waveform can be used to clear the creep wave, but then again, you would have to just waveform closer to the enemy, and suddenly there might be a silence from the Skywrath Mage waiting for your Fisher to follow up, something like that.
I think I like the Gyrocopter, as you were saying, a little bit more than the Morphling. The Gyrocopter combos so well with the Wraith King and Jakiro because they're held out for so long, and they don't take that much damage from that combination, so you need something to really put the hurt on them. And, well, if you want hurt, you can't really go much better than that Rocket Barrage Flat Cannon combination of the Gyrocopter. Morphling's okay. He will be able to fight okay early on. Waveform does do a rather high amount of damage, but I don't know if they could win against this Luna Earthshaker or Skywrath Mage tri-lane. It'll be really difficult for them to do so.
Yeah, it certainly will, and whoa, a Puck to come out as the last one for Dream Trials. So they don't go for like an all-out push with the 5th hero, but a solid just mid laner overall. Really hard to bring him down with the phase shift that he has, and excellent teamfight control with the silence as well as Dream Coil.
It's also a great hero to have when there's a Morphling on the other end. The Blink Silence is one of the best ways to try to get an opening on him, and as far as mid lane heroes go, there aren't that many that pack really hard CC in order to shut down the Morphling. So Silence and Coil is sometimes all you need. So yeah, TT is going to capitalize their lineup with Puck, and let's see who's going to be playing that Puck. It's going to be, oh god, Yelexin? Why do you do this to me, Puck? He's going to be on the Puck. Fury is on the Nature's Prophet, looking to go towards the bottom lane solo. The Skywrath Mage is going to be played by Munkin. Okay, on the Skywrath Mage. On the Earthshaker, we got DJ Durham playing him, and Uta Dota is going to be handling the Luna. All three of those last heroes going to be heading up towards top.
And for B5, Bened+5 up on the Radiant side, Nemerianos will be playing the Tidehunter. Splux on the Wraith King, a support one, just lots of wards on him already. They find the 3M for themselves. Supreme, the stand-in, playing the Morphling with Uniden up on the Jakiro and Sasu to play the Viper. Oh man, I got the better end of the deal here.
Yeah, these names from TT are a pain. Let's just try to refer to them as their hero names, I suppose. But it looks like Morphling is actually going to be going towards the mid lane, anticipating this Puck matchup. What do you think about this? I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe... No. I want to say, like, maybe Morphling wants more levels than Viper, but Viper definitely wants to just get lots of points into Corrosive Skin, especially against the magic damage that can come out from Team Traels, as well as just get the Viper Strike high levels into it. So, I think Morphling would have been just a lot more beneficial in this bottom lane.
Yeah, and Puck would also be struggling a little bit more against a Viper, because Viper will be able to apply really constant harassment to him. Puck will be able to phase shift some of it, yes, but not all of it. So Puck will inevitably chip down and can't really retaliate because of Corrosive Skin, but we do see something sneaky as Blacks and Uniden are going to not go out and try to jump the Nature's Prophet. They're just going to try to make sure the creep wave doesn't get too far ahead of them, and it looks like they will be successful in doing so. So Nature's Prophet, I don't expect him to get all that much. Uniden as well as Sasu, with their ranged dragons, they should be able to poke the Nature's Prophet out of lane and really punish him whenever he wants to come up. And topside should be a rather similar situation. This Tidehunter, though tanky, is not invulnerable in this lane.
Yeah, and I think maybe they sent the Viper bottom lane because they were potentially expecting an aggressive tri lane to come. In that situation, Viper probably would have been better than the Morphling, because Viper is actually pretty damn devastating in a tri-lane or tri-lane versus tri-lane situation. Just the poison attack is so strong and Corrosive Skin as well. But Fury, if there only was an Ice Path on Unit, then they might make him pay. But he has some tangles, the boots as well, to just help him skip away if need be.
This Morphling is really struggling right now. He has 2 CS against Puck's 4, which isn't a huge deficit as of yet, but he's down a lot of his regeneration. He has a Salve and 1 more shared Tango left. And he's taking a beating from Creep Surge, trying to duel the Puck or whatever. Puck's going to have a quicker bottle, so this Morphling is going to continue to have a tough time in this mid lane, especially if some rotation comes in from the Skywrath Mage Earthshaker. Granted, that's not going to come for quite a while, but this Morphling is in a very vulnerable spot right now.
Yeah, most certainly is. And actually look at the Tidehunter now. He's just about to hit level 2, but he already gave up on the top lane. I think it's a smart choice as well. If you're not getting pretty much anything, just go into the jungle. Tidehunter has the ability to do so. And actually, oh, Supreme goes into the way for one more right click. Oh, phase shift! But the last one catches him anyway. First blood drawn by Supreme. So we were saying he's struggling. With last hit, yes he was, but he was just waiting for his opportunity to strike.
Okay, well, that is going to pretty much nix everything that I just said about Morphling. He's going to recover pretty heavily off of this one, as he does have a bottle coming out to him now. So, you know, that early game deficit that I was talking about is pretty much made up for by the fact that Morphling gets first blood, not only first blood, but he didn't actually have any help, so he got full experience from that one. Skywrath Mage is sitting around the corner with the Earthshaker, so Morphling, once again, looking to go aggressive onto this Puck, but things can get turned around at the drop of a hat. Still, it looks like the supports from Team Traels are going to be a little bit cautious. They're possibly looking for the Tidehunter. They're wasting a lot of time here.
Yeah, they are indeed. I mean, as I was trying to talk about the Tidehunter rotation into the jungle, and that it's generally for him, it's definitely a good idea, and for his team, for the Tidehunter to get levels and some farm. But that, of course, if the offlane gets stitched, it frees up the supports to just completely roam around non-stop. And I guess Morphling, having the ability to just waveform, do you think it might have been one deciding factor as well with their laning? Just the ability to waveform over the Fisher if it comes into the mid lane to block him off?
I mean, that is certainly very useful, but if you're expecting the Fissure to come into the mid lane, you're also kind of expecting the silence from the Puck and from the Skywrath Mage, so basing your entire laning off of the ability to escape, given a certain situation, is, in my opinion, not exactly the best line of thought because, I mean, yes, you're going to be able to waveform over the Fissure, but you're still going to get stunned and then silenced again. Like, if you can waveform over it, then you're probably going to escape anyway.
I guess that's true enough as... Well, at the moment he's bottling up a little bit, takes some damage before, and he's bottle crowing a lot at the moment, at least wants to do so. Never mind. Courier already speeding itself way back, and who's gonna get the double damage rune? Skyriff Mage is gonna gun for it, Shakira as well. Ice Path, waiting for it, wait for it. Oh, it catches them as all waveform, he gets the double damage. They might even set up a kill now, Monken. He's on the run, a few more right clicks Supreme. He has the boost of speed as well, doesn't activate the double damage yet. And I don't know why he was waiting for it, but finally goes for it. Waveform, is there shapeshift or phase shift? Shapeshift, man. Silly me, but he escapes, and can he go for more?
Well, you said shapeshift. He's doing Lycan amounts of damage right now. He is strength morphing all the while, and he's trying to bottle in between the right clicks. He can turn around, and I think he can go for more, but it will be certainly a little bit risky. But hey, Morphling gets a second kill on this Puck, who unfortunately mistimes his phase shifts just a little bit. So waveform doing that high amounts of damage plus a double damage rune, doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, I mean, just... If he had activated the double damage rune immediately, maybe could have done just a little bit extra, but getting a kill, everybody escapes as well from them. But top lane Tidehunter might be in trouble. Smoke up from Makan and Durome. This should be an easy kill on the Tide, who is only level 3.
The only way I see him escaping is if a fissure goes really, really wrong, but they're going to go for it right now. Arcane Bolts start off, and Tidehunter actually going to turn around and try to go for the Luna, who's tanking up a full creep wave. Fissure's going to fly, and it looks like Tidehunter will not get anything before he goes down. It's going to be Skywrath Mage to kill him off with an Arcane Bolt.
Yeah, funny enough, he actually got the Kraken Shell proc just as he died. Bottom lane, there was some diving as well, and Sasu, he managed to get the kill in the end. Took a lot of damage, but has a healing cell, so he's going to be fine. Tower dropping so damn low, Liquid Fire doing its job there, but... Tranquil Boots picked up on Tidehunter. What do you make of that?
On the Tidehunter, I mean, I don't really know if I like this too much. It will, of course, hurt his mana pool later on if he's not going with something like Arcanes, but it's also, if he's going to die in this lane, it's going to be a very bursty death. Like, he will not have much time to actually regenerate.
Oh, Fury might go down again. Ice Path, it's on cooldown already. He's gonna burn a little bit from the Liquid Fire, but they needed one more right click. And Makan, well, he definitely can kill Sasu, there's no way.
Level 2 Skywrath Mage, that is just not going to happen, but yeah, the chip damage on top is not really there. Luna with Lucent Beams, I guess, but Luna's actually holding onto a lot of gold with the Ring of Basilius, so it looks like Team Traels, I said before they could go for a really slow game or they could go for a really fast game. With the amount of gold this Luna's holding, it looks like it's going to be a Helm of the Dominator. Would have thought Midas, but they're going to go build their Luna up for the long haul.
Yeah, and oh, actually the Fissure block, now he's holding on to it. He gets it in the end anyway, Tidehunter. Well, he's dead, as can be, even the Eclipse pop for that. So, they committed, and of course without the Eclipse, it might have taken them a really long time to just get the kill otherwise.
Yeah, killing off this Tidehunter, level 2 Kraken Shell is hard. In the meantime, mid lane Supreme is tethered to the floor, but it looks like the coil is not enough damage in the end to kill the Morphling. Strength Morph is incredibly useful when you are being worked down by two heroes with, at the moment, low burst. Later on, it's not going to be as useful, but for right now, it's pretty much the best survivability tool you could ask for.
Supreme, having the Glass of Haste at the moment, plus 1000 in the bank. Is he going for the Hand of Midas, or is he just waiting for that little bit of extra to finish up maybe a Ring of Aquila at the same time as the Power Trades or something? Although he would have enough for that as well even now.
In a vacuum, I would say it's probably just saving for Power Treads, but seeing as though he probably spotted out the fact that Luna went for the Helm of the Dominator, he knows that he's not going to be under a lot of pressure from a Luna with drums and Ring of Aquila and stuff like that, so he might see that, and just realize, hey, I could go for a Hand of Midas, and I probably won't be punished.
Do you think actually the Helm of the Dominator was a smart choice? When Helm of the Dominator or Hand of Midas doesn't really matter, but just gearing yourself up for the late game, do they even have the advantage there, and is it a little bit too greedy?
Well, I don't know, because he might pay the price for it right now. They have a Gush, Ice Path, everything in the book, but it's going to be the Tidehunter who gets caught out in the Sprout. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any tangos, and they're going to bring everyone here. Holy crap, that's some real commitment. And now, yeah, literally the entire Dire team just up to the top lane, the blink of an eye. The Puck has a haster, and he's going to look for even more as Uniden tries to escape. There is a coil. You're about to get coiled, Uniden. Maybe? Perhaps? No, just right clicks? Okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, I think he saw blocks coming in as well with the Observer Ward, so Wanted to make sure. Actually, might be in some trouble now. Phase shift. Oh, he uses it. Refer blast to follow up as well. No, he gets the taunt stun. But they see him. Oh no, what? Supreme? Why? What?
What?
They had mercy,
What the
man.
hell just
Supreme
happened?
the merciful.
All hail Supreme, he shows mercy. This puck was so dead. Like, he was trapped in the corner. He had a phase shift. He didn't have enough mana for another illusory orb. He did survive long enough, but yeah, really nice of Supreme to let that puck go.
I have no clue what just happened there, but Turung, he TPs to the mid lane as well on the Earthshaker. He's so low on mana though, doesn't even have enough for one Fisher, so that TP is like, what? Why? I have no idea why he TP'd there, literally just place down a ward, be happy.
Maybe he's just intimidation / didn't realize that he didn't have enough for Fissure after TP, but yeah, either way, going back to the Luna, as we got pretty sidetracked pretty hard off of that, but Helmet Dominator, I don't really know how much I like this on Luna at all, unless you know that you have late game supremacy and you could stack all the Ancients of the world. This game is not one of those games. She's going to be going up against a Morphling who, against someone like a Luna, who's typically on the softer side, is very vulnerable to the shotgun of Morphling, which I can only assume is going to come up later. The late game from Team Traels is by no means a step above the Radiant side, so I would have liked to see her go for that aggressive Drums Aquila kind of start that I was mentioning before.
Yeah, I definitely would have preferred that as well. I mean, and actually so far he's used it to stack up the B camp, not even going to the Ancients with his Troll Summoner. Of course, farming up the triple stack is so much easier for himself earlier on, so he might get an advantage from there. But I don't know, maybe it will work out. He's going for a BKB straight after, it looks like, so getting magic immunity definitely a priority as well up against the Ravage. And speaking of the Ravage, we are yet to see one 10.5 minutes in. Of course, I guess nobody's really on Tidehunter's lane even at the moment, and Team Trails, they should just maybe pull once properly and just have somebody farm up the lane, because at the moment they're kind of losing valuable farming time on their own safe lane.
Yeah, that's really not what you want to have happen. You could do that pull, or you could smoke up and try to kill someone. That's good too. Earthshaker, Skywrath Mage, not the highest of levels on these supports, but if they jump someone in lane with a puck, pretty much no matter who that is should be going down, unless it is two heroes, Jakiro as well as Morphling, both going to rotate in to this puck's lane. They're going to be quickly outnumbered if they don't realize what's happening. And well, they're pretty far back for now, but still I think the Skywrath Mage and Earthshaker are, well, now completely revealed from the Observe Ward.
Just look at their levels. Skywrath Mage level 3, Earthshaker level 4. Oh, that's pretty damn horrible. I mean, it's almost 12 minutes in, your Skywrath Mage is still only level 3. You want that Mystic Flare just as fast as you possibly can. Of course, it's not like the Jakiro and the Wraith King are more, or just have more levels, but oh, the Skywrath Mage, he just needs them so bad.
Yeah, it's definitely more important for Skywrath Mage to get to level 6. The reincarnation from Wraith King is nice. Jakiro doesn't have a huge bump in power as he levels up. He really is probably just going to skip Macro Pyre altogether and just go for more Liquid Fire, Ice Path, and stuff like that. So, yeah, the levels are, pretty even for the supports, but that's not going to benefit Team Trails. They're going to go for Supreme. They get the silence off of number 1, no Strength Morph here, and they Dream Coil him to the floor. He was already Strength Morphing, actually, so never mind. He's going to turn around and be just fine as he goes fully into Strength, doing 30 damage a pop, not that impressive, but he does survive that gank attempt. In the meantime, the old Sasu on the bottom lane, I don't think he's left a single time. He's just been chilling here, pushing with that Nether Toxin, and he's already brought the tower down to half HP with level 2 Liquid Fire. This should be a pretty easy tier 2 tower for B5.
Yeah, I mean, Nether Toxin is maxed out as well, so it does half damage to towers, as it normally would to heroes. So the tower, it's gonna take a lot of harassment. Of course, they don't want to overstay their welcome, but look at Sasu, he's going for a straight up pipe instead of just getting himself a mech, as usually Vipers do. And I'm definitely not opposed to the option, just the Eclipse, Mystic Flares, Puck with all of his spells pretty much. It's definitely a thing that potentially can mitigate way more damage than the mech could heal.
Yeah, and it's also just a higher ticket item, so if you're getting this much farm, why go get a cheap item when you can get a more expensive item? And he's going to have that one, well, completed right now. Yeah, he's done with that item as soon as he gets the courier back to the base. So he's going to have the pipe. Around at the same time, Tidehunter is going to have his Blink Daggers. Black's in the mid lane. He's not level 6, and he's going to be really sad about that fact right now. Nature's Prophet with the TP right click in, going to kill off the Wraith King in the mid lane. They're going to summon some treants and try to take down this tower, but I think B5 can make the defense.
Yeah, they are making their way there. Unit, and he's level 5, so no Macro Fire yet, but level 3 Liquid Fire might be enough to just either stop the push or make TT back off and get the deny on the tower. Oh, what a Fisher though.
Really nice Fisher. Someone's coming in. It's going to be Blacks. They're going to try to cleanse the tower of all these little treants, and they'll be successful. One more right click from the puck won't do it. He's going to jaunt out of there, and he will be just fine in doing so. The tower denied, and well, Team Traels going to be a little bit sad about that, especially since the crackback might be the real deal, as Tidehunter actually has gone for a 4-staff. I don't know how much I like that when he could have just as easily gotten a Blink Dagger, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 tower trade with one deny going the way of B5 unless the puck pulls out something big. He's off to the side, and I don't think he's going to get this one.
Yeah, actually, loser of his used puck. He has to be so careful. He has a Regen Rune as well. He's going to get to the high ground, but he dropped so damn low. But Regen Rune, of course, will just make it all fine for him. And speaking of the 4-staff on Nemerianos, I think it's decent enough, helping people out of the Mystic Flare as well as maybe over the Fissures if need be. It definitely can have its uses. So he's playing it safe rather than just going all out with a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, and it looks like they're actually gearing up to fight for real. I mean, Morphling is off on the bottom lane, doesn't actually have a replicate, so if Team Trails want to fight this one out, it will be a 4v5, but that's a 4v5 going into a pipe and a Ravage. And you probably never ever see a pipe this early, so it's going to be hard for Team Trails to anticipate how much of an impact this pipe is going to do. And at this stage, when the supports don't even have max levels, the pipe is going to do a lot. They're going to open up with a Tidehunter, and he doesn't have a pipe. He's going to get full on Eclipse. The rest of the heroes caught in the coil. They're going to turn around and kill off this puck really quickly, and then get the Viper Strike onto the Earthshaker. This pipe is standing really strong as Black's now being focused down by the right click of the Luna. He's level 6 though, so he wants to use the Reincarnation, gets slow off onto everyone. Macropyre is down, going to do pretty much no damage, but that's okay, I think. Black's is going to back his way off. Ice Pass and Poison galore. Another Fisher does fly out, just slowing down the Wraith King, and it looks like everyone else should survive from this one. It's well, they take down the Tidehunter, but that's about it.
Yeah, it was a 1-for-1, plus of course Reincarnation for buyback, I guess. So Puck's buyback definitely will hurt him, delay his Blink Dagger by way too much. He's already 16 minutes in, he needs another 1500 gold for that. And man, Earthshaker, he was so close to dying there. Magic Wand to the rescue, he survived 50 HP, but the tower, it's still under siege. I mean, B5, they definitely don't want to just give up the tower.
And even if Puck does have, it's like he had a Blink Dagger right now, he got a 3-man coil with Tidehunter being completely demolished by an Eclipse on the back end. You can't really ask for a better setup from your Puck. Like, it's just not going to happen. And just the pipe from Viper providing so much value against this Puck, meaning the Puck is pretty much going to be an irrelevant hero until he maxes out all his skills and, well, maybe he gets a little bit of right-click damage, because that pipe is such a nuisance so early on.
Yeah, it's really nicely done by Viper just going for it. Unfortunately, Tidehunter was a little bit too far away from it, the Fisher just completely blocking him off. I'm not too sure if he had the 4-staff in his inventory already, or just got bursted down before he had the chance to use it. Luna, of course, used this 10-second BKB for it as well. So, if you get the BKB this early on, yes, it's going to be good for the fights, but it also has a downside. It's going to be down to 4 seconds really fast in the game then.
Looks like B5, they're still applying the pressure with the Morphling, who actually has Boots of Travels as the first item, so looks like they kind of planned around this split pushing with the Morphling's item build, and I don't know if I like the item build, but I like the item build given the adaptation that B5 are actually doing right now, is that they're split pushing and they need the Morphling to come at the drop of the hat. And it looks like they're just going to go for it as Blacks does get cut off in the Sprout. Fissure onto 2. Viper Strike, though, onto this Earthshaker. Sasu just going to go to town onto whoever he can get his hands on. But the Earthshaker does teleport away, taking a hefty amount of damage there. Morphling, in the meantime, has taken out a Tier 1 tower, whereas the rest of B5, with this pipe advantage, well, it's gone for another 45 seconds, so they're going to back off for now. But they still have a Ravage. They still are very confident in taking a team fight.
Yeah, they can easily go for it, man, but to me, it's almost a first. Seeing a Tidehunter almost 80 minutes into the game, and I don't think we've seen a single Ravage yet.
He's saving it for a special occasion, and I'm okay with that. Oh, but Morphling up top. He's out of mana, and he's going to take a full-on Eclipse. Where's your split pushing now? Instantly, everyone just goes in on the bottom lane. Ice Path going to just barely miss that puck. But it's a Tier 2 tower and a Tier 1 tower, ultimately, for a Morphling death. It's not the best for B5, but they're getting a lot of map control off of this.
Yeah, I mean, economically, it's definitely worth it at the moment. Of course, it's never nice to have just the farm stop on your hard carry. But since he has the Hand of Midas, which was off cooldown as well, or on cooldown rather, man, I'm just sprouting nonsense, but this ultimate orb, is it going to be a Manta style or is he going for straight up man mode? Oh, I think he's going, never mind. it's gonna be a Linken's instead.
It's not going to be the fastest Lincolns in the world, but blocking just the Ancient Seal, I would say, is pretty crucial. Sprout, Lucent Beam, Fissure. I don't really know if it's the best right now. I think this is probably, if ever there was a BKB game over Lincoln's, this would probably be it.
Yeah, I mean, BKB definitely would be a pretty decent choice, but man, he went for Boots of Traels as well, so he's going for something different at the moment. Linken's, the good thing with it is that you get some nice mana regeneration, which is pretty important to a Morphling. He definitely wants to use a lot of his waveform to just farm up faster and push out the lanes faster. So, I guess it's going to be fine that way, and wow, Viper. He already has an Aghanims as well.
If you clean out all but one of the enemy's towers, you're going to have a lot of gold. So Aghanims on the Viper, Wraith King has his Blink Dagger. Jakiro is going to be going for a really late mech, but hey, a mech on your team is always going to have at least some value. So they
He
will
actually
have
has
mech
it finished
pipe.
now.
Okay, well, there you go. Mech is completed, and there is no one on the Team Trail side who is even close to a mech or a pipe. So B5, they have teamfight supremacy at this point.
Well, at least Puck is going to get his Blink Dagger in only 50 gold, so that's definitely going to help them out. Just get the initiation that they have been kind of lacking so far. They've been so reliant on getting a Fissure from the Earthshaker, and that was their only form of initiation. But B5, I mean, I just think they could even just focus Roshan now. Liquefier level 4, Wraith King has 1 point into Vampiric Aura as well, so it should be rather easy for them.
Yeah, Liquid Fire with Nether Toxin, with the Vamp Aura from Wraith King, plus the Poison attack. He's going to be attacking really damn slow, this Roshan, and Puck is right up on the high ground, can throw an orb, should probably do so. But, well, yeah, they have a lot of damage, and this should be a very safe Roshan, assuming the Puck doesn't make some really heroic plays. They know about this, though, Team Trails. They have Treants in the pit, and they have Orb Vision. But B5, they actually haven't spent that much in order to get this down that low, and Sasu now tanking up with a lot of regeneration, 18.2 with that pipe. Well, Team Trails, they're going to look to initiate eventually. Roshan dropping lower and lower. Black's on the high ground, though. He's going to burn his stun and his reincarnation right off the bat as Wrath of Nature does fly through. This could be a perfect place for a Fissure. There it is, going to isolate everyone and the Eclipse from the Luna. It will do any damage. Going through the pipe, going to quickly Mystic Flare as well. Need the Ravage, but he's silenced. Where's the Ravage from 500? There it is, finally. Hitting onto pretty much everybody. Fury now getting it worked down by Stand-In Supreme. Echo Slam onto the Tidehunter will kill him off. Black's to throw another stun onto this Earthshaker. They should be able to bring this Earthshaker down as the Ice Path does secure him in place for a little while longer. Supreme going to get a double kill as due to Dota going to be the only survivor for the Team Trials side. Roshan is still alive, and I think they could just keep going for it with Liquid Fire and this Vamp Aura. Yeah, they will just go right back to it.
Yeah, that was really good. The Ravage, he held on to it for such a long time. And of course he tried to go for it a little bit as well, but just got interrupted multiple times. But nonetheless, in the end, he hit at least 3 heroes, if not 4. Would have hit Luna as well if he just didn't have the BKB activated. So, good fight. They get Roshan afterwards. Morphling finishes up his Linken's, has it brought out to him, and has 1.1k on top of it already as well. With the Hand of Midas, 1.4k almost.
This is such a weird item, 6 items to see on the Morphling at this stage in the game. Like, Boots of Travels, Linken's, Hand of Midas, they're usually not picked up all in the same game, and definitely not by 22 minutes. So, this Morphling has quite a weird kit of items, but hey, he's 4-1-1, so I guess you can't argue with the results. And B5, they have only one outer tower left to take. I think with Liquid Fire still working for them, they should go straight to that. They need the Viper to help out, but they're going to find the Luna in the meantime. There's the Adaptive Strike, forcing out the BKB. The right-click damage isn't enough, but hey, that is a 8-second BKB charge down the tubes.
Yeah, they want to get 2 room as well. Blux couldn't blink in close enough for the Wayfarer Blast. But I have to agree, just BKB is actually mocking. He comes in, Fissure as well. Will we see a Mystic Flare? No, the Ice Path delays it out, but it comes out in the end anyway. Fury, he's there as well. The Sprout, Dream Coil used for unit, and he pops the mech. He's just healthy, but the 4-step for what? Oh, that was to the wrong side. Tidehunter, you just killed your Jakiro.
Unidin. I mean, him and Wraith King, I don't really know what the plan was there. Like, the enemy team has a tier 2 tower there, so they could teleport in, and they were all alone, and yes, they are ahead on gold, but they're, at the end of the day, just a couple of supports, so kind of suicidal, and the Tidehunter forced Staff the wrong way doesn't exactly help either. But, oh, top lane, Fury teleported into a Hornet's Nest because Supreme is there. Doesn't have enough mana for a waveform just yet. There it is with the Gush. He is going to be able to kill off Fury super easily, I think, unless we see some out-of-this-world juking from Fury, but it's not looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, with that kill, it makes it a little bit better losing the 2 supports like that. But the supports, they definitely suffer from inflated pole syndrome. They just, if things are going well for you, sometimes you think you're kind of like, you can't be defeated. You just go into anything, and they just paid the price for it. But Morphling has been keeping on farming all the time. Luna is pretty damn close to the Morphling though, especially considering that the Morphling has been running a Hand of Midas for quite some time now.
I haven't actually been looking at the Luna status on her ancient camps. I'm assuming they got a couple off. I just haven't gotten around to that era yet. So she is pretty stacked with the Manta style and the BKB. Helmet Dominator providing that extra survivability as well. And well, at the end of the day, she's gonna have to go up against a whole lot of B5 heroes because the rest of her team is not near her farm. Nature's Prophet is the closest with only a Maelstrom, and it looks like he's gonna go down again. The Wraith King and the Morphling. Oh, yep, that's the Morphling Fury, and now Wraithfire Blast, and then beat down, easy kill on the Nature's Prophet. That's twice. He respawned, teleported out, and then instantly died again. He's gonna send some treants mess with the creep wave, but this top tier 2 tower is not long for life.
I just read at the chat, man. Some guy is really happy that he's gonna win his bet again, and it's raining keys for him. But
You're welcome.
I mean, just look at Nemerianos. He has himself a Mystic Staff, so straight up Shiva's card, most likely. Maybe a Hex, but I doubt it. Makan gonna TP out, and I guess that's really the biggest weakness of a Viper. He can't really stop unless he builds an Abyssal Blade or Basher or something.
Alright, so that Nature's Prophet with that tree in play did slow down this push a little bit, but now that the B5 side, they have 2 waves of creeps up on top. Do you think they're just going to ride this momentum all the way through the tier 2 tower into the high ground? Because I don't know if Team Traels can defend. They definitely can't defend this tier 2. I don't know if they can defend the high ground, because again, they're a pipe and a mech down.
Yeah, I think just it's so easy for them to push, just like for the reason you mentioned. No pipe, no mech on TT. Even if they fight, they would just have to burn through so much more than B5 themselves do, and they have a Ravage as well, just for that win team fight ultimate, so I don't know, it's gonna be so hard on Brave King. He's about to hit level 11 as well from this creep wave, get the level 2 reincarnation even. But
well,
tier 2, it was an exchange.
Yeah, the Luna finding a very fortunate illusion rune at this stage in the game. It's pretty much the best rune you could ask for, and well, with so many units on the front lines, they're going to force the D5 side back with Puck and Skyrath Mage trying to defend. They're going to jump in on him. Munkin is going to get stunned up with Wraithfire Blast, and he will probably die in the base. And yes, he will, and they're going to go for Puck straight after. Mr. Claire was dropped on the Wraith King, but that's not going to be enough. Now the waveform forward. Dota is all alone in this Cliffs, and I think he will be able to bring down Brax, but now there's way too many people here. Echo Slam going to shut down the Morphling, pop his Aegis, and kill off the Viper. Morphling probably can't escape from this one. He's going to get silenced, and he's getting brought down really quickly. TT, they force a couple heroes back and then take a pretty nice fight up on top.
Yeah, I mean, Luna was man fighting that. There's no way, just other way to put it at the moment. Almost lost, but a little bit lucky maybe that a lot of the bounces went onto the Wraith King and nobody else. If the Wraith King had gotten like one more Wraithfire Blast, then maybe. But Nemerianos bottom lane, he popped the Ravage, hit 0 heroes for it, so a Ravage to just try to clear off creeps, I don't know. That was really awkward by the Tide.
Oh, I didn't even realize that happened. I was watching top the entire time. I heard you say what? I'm like, what? Nothing's happening up top. It's fine. But yeah, Ravage for no people is not the way to play Tide Hunter.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate just losing a fight like that. Probably will dent the graphs just a little bit, but Tide Hunter has his Shiva's card finished. Morphling still has a... Actually, the shotgun is done for him as well. So even if he died, he got his, I guess, most important item, although the Luna might be even a little bit scarier. I mean, he's almost level 20 as well here.
Yeah, but again, this shotgun for the Morphling is going to be devastating towards the Luna until she gets the Satanic and just, well, at least gets the Reaver for the Satanic. The shotgun I don't think is going to kill the Luna, but at the very least it's going to force her to BKB. And really, if you could do that, then that's pretty much a win. As unit in the bottom lane, yeah, he is going to get chased down by a whole bunch of Panthers and Novas. Ice Path, though, as Stand Supreme does get the shotgun out with the Macro Pyre. Lots of damage, but yeah, there's the BKB pop. Dota will survive that, as predicted.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I completely forgot the boots of Traels on the Morphling. If he had not had those, I think Jakiro would have just gotten chased down so easily by the Luna. Just Luna's movement speed, especially with the Manta style, is so much superior to that of the Jakiro. But at the moment, the game is actually kind of slowed down. The last 10 minutes almost even, just some pushing going on, not a lot of fighting. And it's really hard to tell who it benefits. Probably B5 since they have more heroes farming up, but Nature's Prophet is slowly but surely catching up. Actually only 400 gold away from a Hex if that's what he wants to go for.
You have to give a lot of credit to Team Trials for actually managing to slow down this game. It seemed like it was out of control for them. Like, they were losing 4v5 fights with the Morphling just farming up, but they've taken a couple of good ones since then, so they've pretty much stopped the momentum from B5, and if they can continue to hold this status quo, they're going to get even more farm in the Luna. She can get Satanic, she can replace her Ring of Basilius, get Traels, all that huge agility carry deal. She will be forced into a late game duel with the Morphling, and you know, he will have a good amount of support behind him, but with a lot of split push from the Team Trial side from this Nature's Prophet, I think TT have pretty much stabilized from their shaky early start.
Yeah, that is very much so. I mean, they still have 2 towers to bring down. Gold-wise, looking at the graphs, 8,000 gold lead for B5, but XP, it's actually 2,000 for Team Trials. So it's looking pretty decent. Puck. Oh, the slows, the silence as well, but Fury, he can't get there fast enough with his TP to get the Sprout. 4-staff definitely coming handy here.
Yeah, this Luna is getting frighteningly high amounts of farm. Somehow he hasn't actually died yet. I know he in that like Roshan area fight, he was the only one to survive, and then top lane he almost went down, but yeah, this Luna has yet to die, and that's a pretty large accomplishment given the enemy heroes and the amount of damage they put out. But they're going to go in for Puck, and Puck I don't think is going to be as lucky. He will jaunt away, dodge an Anchor Smash, blinking out, and Puck, well, elusive as ever, is going to survive.
Oh man, this is the point where you have to ask yourself, would it have been worth it to just pop the Ravage for the solo kill straight out? It's definitely, if you're a Tidehunter player, you're like, no way, I'm not gonna do it. I mean, he's gonna die anyway. But didn't happen, and do you think it would have been worth it to just pop the Ravage, or would it have been too easy for TT to fight after then?
I just don't think it's ever safe for a Tidehunter to go for Ravage versus a Puck, ever, unless you know that his timings are completely down. There's nothing more embarrassing than a zero-man Ravage, and he already had one of those, so you definitely don't want to have 2 of those. Also, that would have given TT a huge green light to make a play happen, though I'm still sure that B5 have a teamfight advantage. With no Ravage,
Top lane,
suddenly
they might
Luna
get
gets much
Supreme!
stronger.
Yes, they do. They just blink in, Echo Slam, get the Hex as well. They popped the Lincolns, I think, with a Fisher. So, Morphling down for 60 seconds. He has buyback if need be, but that's still just buying some more time for the Luna to farm up, and it's Roche time.
This is a solo Roche as well. Luna with Satanic is going to take pretty much no damage from this Roshan, and she'll be able to clear it out a little bit slowly, but it's going to be a free Aegis for her. She's probably going to ship her Ring of Basilius pretty soon. In the meantime, the rest of her team making it so that there's nothing suspicious going on. They're just pushing up top. But they're going to jump forward onto Fury up top. They do take out Shakira in the meantime. Fissure will secure them. The safety is Ravage onto 0 people. That's the second time Fury going to sprout and TP himself out of there. He will be fine. Jakiro does go down trying to scout that Roshan pit, and now Sasu also going to wander in. He does pop the pipe in the BKB. They don't have anything to interrupt this through the BKB except for pure damage, and well, the damage was a lot higher than I thought, but still, B5, stop sending people in there one at a time. It's a bad idea.
Oh man, this is just throwing at its finest at the moment. B5 there. They knew Roshan is going on. I mean, Jakiro, he already got wrecked. I have no idea what Sasu thought. Did he really think that he alone will be enough? And suddenly Luna, with an Aegis, Satanic, BKB and a Manta style, 2.4k HP, that's a huge amount, so at the moment he doesn't even have to be afraid of the shotgun too much anymore, and Morphling, he has an Ogre Club, so finally, I guess he's realized that he does need a BKB.
Shotgun's still the largest damaging tool for B5, but yeah, as Luna gets bulkier and bulkier, she's gonna have more time to pop the BKB, pop the Manta style, and just turn around with the Satanic and fight the Morphling. At this stage, Morphling, though he does have that huge burst of damage, the rest of his items, all of his gold that he spent, they're not actually helping him do that much damage. Like Lincoln Sphere's survivability, Midas does pretty much nothing, Booster Travels does nothing, Ethereal Blade has the blast, but that's about it. So as far as Morphling getting into a duel with Luna, I don't see him winning that.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen like super late game Morphling versus Luna where Morphling just comes out on top. At least when it's completely one-on-one and the bouncing glaives just can't bounce around, the moon glaives. But man, it's gonna be hard. Fury has a Hex, of course, for some time now already. As Alexin working on his as well on the Puck, although he might get caught. The Braver Blast connects as well, no phase shift in time, and he's gonna get bursted by the shotgun. So finally they get one huge kill. Scarf Mage went down as well to Sasu in the meantime. So this is their opportunity to just pressure high ground.
They don't have a Ravage, and they will be going up against 2 Lunas. Someone has to teleport bottom lane because it's being pressured pretty hard, but I think Team Traels can probably make a defense here. They have a buyback on Puck if things get super hairy, but they're just gonna go whole hog on the top lane. Oh, their high ground is being pressured. Earthshaker off to the side, has an Echo Slam. Oh, this is a juicy Echo Slam target, but he's gonna go all alone. There's an Echo Slam onto all 5. He's gonna do a lot of magic damage with the Eclipse coming in. They're gonna kill off the Titan before we get anything out. Now Blast jumping low, as is the Earthshaker. Earthshaker is going to die first. Sasu's still in the BKB. Gonna try to get whoever he can. They're gonna chase down Uniden, or at least attempt to. Sasu now in the BKB running out. Is he gonna get Concussive Shot and the Mystic Flare? But looks like the Wraithfire Blast slowing down the Luna just a little bit. She still wants to keep going, but it's very smart TP from Sasu. Will get him away to safety. It looks like that was ultimately a 2-for-2 trade. Puck does buy back from that, however, but B5, they are repelled from this push.
So I guess all in all it was a 3-for-2 main Puck having the buyback, and actually it's a huge thing because he was getting rather close to finishing up a Sheepstick, but now all of a sudden he still needs another 3000 gold. So kind of costly for the Puck, but they did kill the Morphling, which is always good, and Luna did survive the entire fight. Of course, he still has double life even. But man, this fight, it started just... It was the dream start with that Echo Slam. Literally hit every single hero. And there was no pipe to even activate after the Echo Slam because it was still on cooldown from the mid-fight when they got the Puck as well as the Skywrath. So it couldn't have gone too much better for TT there, I guess. But the spread from B5 was also pretty damn nice. Just leaving the Viper with his BKB activated to tank up most of the magic that just didn't do anything by then.
Yeah, but also Viper can't, even though he is fairly invulnerable with the amount of magic distance that he has through Pipe and BKB, he can't actually damage the Luna enough to force her back. So they need someone to be able to focus down and kill this Luna, not once but twice. And well, she's going to have evasion soon enough when she has her butterfly completed. So once she gets that, the Morphling is nowhere close to an MKB. He does have a BKB finish off, which is all well and good, but this Luna is pretty much 6-slotted right now. It's going to replace the Aegis with something down the line, but she could just A-move down a lane and shred towers and even look for stand-in Supreme as he's being stalked by Luna and Earthshaker, but a Luna illusion, as Replicate actually, is going to ward everyone away.
Well, that is one thing Morphling can always do. Replicate a Luna and just have it to work. It's actually a pretty strong replicate, to be honest. Just it can do a lot of damage in return. You can also replicate Viper, for example, also a pretty decent one. But man, this game, it just got a lot harder for B5. Actually quite a while ago than it should have been, at least from the start that they had. They had a 10k gold lead at some point, but it's whittled down to only a 4k lead now, and XP is actually 6,000 in the favor of Team Traels.
322 is real. B5, they still are not completely out of this. They still have, you know, a Ravage of Morphling who's still farming decently, but this Luna is getting to be such a huge problem, and the more attention B5 focus on the Luna means the less attention they're going to be focusing on Fury's Nature's Prophet. So he's going to get even bigger as he does complete up his Mjolnir, has a Sheepstick as well. So the split push coming out from this hero is going to be incredibly annoying for B5, and especially if Luna sends a couple of Manta-style illusions to kind of push that lane out as well. We have a big smoke up now from B5. They want blood, and Puck is going to be the one to bleed, it looks like. They get the shotgun out, but he does gone most of it. There's the Echo Slam onto a whole bunch. Now the BKB is going to pop from everyone. Ravage pretty much hitting on no one except for Peace Punch from the back line. Dota is standing his ground, using his glaives, but he's not doing enough damage. Everyone is tanky enough, and he's trying to do as much damage as he can, but the Anchor Smash is making it really hard for him to do so. He's going to lose his Aegis here. He does not have anything else. This is going to be the second death of the Luna. He's going to buy TPs and try to fight it out. Fury's going to come on in, as will the Skywrath Mage. Will kill off Blacks, but that's only that reincarnation. They'll lose the Luna. Now they're going to lose Fury. He's going to static charge himself, but it's a little bit too late. He has a TP out. It's way too late to do that, though. Sasu with a double kill. They're going to catch Munkern as well. The shotgun, yes, shotgun. As Supreme does get forced that forward, looking for that Earthshaker who's now on the high ground. Oh, no, he missed it. Great thing, jumping straight forward, but Nature's Prophet buys back. They'll try to split push something, but it's not going to be in time. They lost their Luna, and she has no buyback. This is high ground time. This might even be Rax's.
Yeah, and Viper got 1,157 gold from it as well, but oh, stun, gonna get phase shifted. But my Luna, he hadn't died before, so lots of gold going into the pockets of the Viper, and like you mentioned, no buyback on Luna. This is huge, a huge fight for B5, and the Ravage, it actually hit 3 people. BKB was there on Luna, so he would have been the 4th otherwise. They were just on the edge, but it was a decent enough Ravage. At the first look, it looked like, no, not gonna be enough, but was good, and one set of racks down with the liquid fire with their heroes. They could do enough for... Yeah, Chakira is still around. What? I lost him for a second, but he's there. Blink, Waning Rift onto 3, no stuns to follow up, but they don't really care. They're just there for the objectives.
One screw up is all it takes, Team Trials. If your Luna decides to buy out the butterfly and then goes ahead and dies, that's instantly 2 Raxes down. If you're in the bottom lane, he's making as much of an attempt as he possibly can, but they've already lost 1.5 sets of Raxes. It looks like Supreme will be able to clear the rest of it. Yes, he will, and then will replicate away. Actually, teleport into the mid lane? No, they're just chasing down a fake Viper. I don't even know if they know that this is a fake Viper. Luna's finally up alive, but they're down 2 Raxes. What's 322 squared? Because I'm pretty sure this is what's happening this game.
Oh man, that math level is definitely too damn high for me, man. 3 squared, I can tell you, 322. No way in hell. But
103,684. Just in case anyone's curious.
did you just calculate it, or did you throw out a random number and are hoping that nobody's gonna check?
Oh no, that's actually the math
Okay.
calculator.
And that, to be honest, in this situation, you could have said it, and I would have had no idea to know if it's true or not. I would have been, yeah, okay.
I promise I'm telling you the truth.
I'm not going to remember the number anyway, so don't
Me
really care
neither.
too much. But TT at the moment, they have to just kind of counter losses as Sazu. He was baiting this. He was running in like a complete illusion there, just running, not even. Oh man, this some next level mind games. But Roshan, oh, it got a really long respawn.
Yeah, that sucks for B5. They have the perfect Roshan scenario right now. If it was up, they'll be able to clear it with pretty much no reaction from TT except for possibly a big Echo Slam. But they're still grouped up in the mid lane. They're looking for blood. Blacks is going to jump forward for a stun onto the Luna and the Viper Strike. So this Luna's going to be slowed to a very slow crawl. Or Shaker out to the side will get a nice Echo Slam onto 3. They will have a Ravage though. BKBs get popped and Ravage will hit onto 3. Then Luna just going to count everyone, but she lost all of her backup. That's going to be Luna's second death. The puck is trying to escape, but I don't know if it's going to even matter in the end because he doesn't have any more support. Fury's going to call GG. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they just
so good.
B5, their team composition, just having 3 BKBs for themselves and the pipe. It was so hard to bring them down, and Luna himself, he was down to the 4-second BKB for some time now by the end, and once he picked it up 16 minutes in and used it the first time, I said it might become an issue. Just low duration BKB just completely wrecked him.
It looked so good for B5 in the beginning, and then it looked so good for TT in the middle, and then B5 just ended it. I mean, what a roller coaster. It had everything. It had everything.
Man, like a good joint Dota League game always does. I mean, if there's not at least one 3-2 move, it's not a game, man. It's the new pause. 3-2 is the new pause. But guys, this is a 2-game series and we're gonna head into game 2 now. If you enjoyed us, be sure to follow us on this channel as well as HeflaTV1 and HeflaMoke, the English channels for us. And check out our social media if you want to know when we're going live on what channels and what games. And of course, check out Mike Loris at Mike Loris on Twitter as well as Twitch. And myself at Coucher on Twitter. So guys, see you in game number 2.
GG, guys.